Once upon a time, in a small village near Baghdad, lived an honest farmer named Abdullah. He lived a simple life with his wife and his son, Zaid. Abdullah worked hard all day, making sweet jaggery from sugarcane and selling it in the city market to feed his family. Winter had arrived. Abdullah loaded his bullock cart with fresh jaggery and headed to the city. He never took his son Zaid with him, thinking the boy was too innocent for the clever ways of the city market. At the market, a wealthy but highly deceitful merchant named Qasim spotted Abdullah. Qasim was famous for tricking innocent people. Seeing Abdullah's simple face, Qasim smiled greedily and asked, "Hey brother, how much for the whole cart?" Abdullah was thrilled. He thought he wouldn't have to wait all day for customers. He politely replied, "Sir, just give me 500 silver coins and take all the jaggery." Qasim handed him the coins and asked Abdullah to drive the cart to his mansion. But as soon as they reached the house, the trap closed. When Abdullah asked to unload his jaggery so he could take his cart back, Qasim roared, "What cart? I asked the price for the whole cart and you agreed to 500 coins. The cart and the jaggery are both mine now." Before Abdullah could protest, Qasim's guards beat him up, tore his clothes, and threw him out. Shamed and broken, Abdullah hid in the bushes until dark, crying for his lost dignity. When Abdullah returned home empty-handed and weeping, his son Zaid's blood boiled with anger. Zaid hugged his father and said, "Don't worry, Abba. Tomorrow I will go to that market. I will bring back our cart and teach that cheat a lesson he will never forget." The next morning, Zaid borrowed a bullock cart from a neighbor, loaded it with jaggery, and stood at the exact same spot. It didn't take long for the greedy Qasim to notice him. Seeing Zaid's sad face, Qasim thought, "Yesterday I fooled the father. Today I will rob the son." Qasim approached and asked, "How much for this cart, boy?" Zaid smiled innocently and said, "Sir, just give me one handful of coins and everything is yours." Qasim laughed inside. He thought he would just give a few cheap copper coins from his hand and steal another cart. He agreed and took Zaid to his house. At the mansion, Qasim held out a closed fist filled with cheap coins and said, "Take your handful of coins and leave the cart." Zaid politely asked him to just take the jaggery and leave the cart, but Qasim threatened, "Shut up, or I will beat you up just like your father." That was Qasim's biggest mistake. Zaid's innocence vanished. He grabbed Qasim's wrist with a grip of steel and pulled out a sharp dagger. Zaid whispered coldly, "Merchant, I am leaving the cart, but I am cutting off and taking this handful with me, because our deal was for a handful, not just the coins." Qasim screamed in terror as the blade touched his skin. "No, please stop. Take whatever you want," he begged. Zaid replied, "Return my father's cart immediately, and from today you will hire me as your servant and pay me 2,000 coins a month. If you ever try to fire me or trick me, I will cut off your nose and ears." Terrified, Qasim agreed to every condition. The real revenge had just begun. Qasim tried to starve Zaid by giving him only one handful of rice a day. But every night, Zaid secretly drank all the milk directly from Qasim's cow, leaving Qasim to get kicked by the angry cow the next morning. A few weeks later, they went to visit Qasim's in-laws. On the way, Zaid secretly sold Qasim's expensive black horse to some merchants. He cut off just the horse's tail, stuck it inside a hole in the ground, and told Qasim, "Sir, the horse jumped into this hole. Pull the tail." When Qasim pulled, the tail came out in his hand, leaving him speechless and forced to walk on foot. The ultimate humiliation happened at the in-laws' house. After a series of brilliant tricks by Zaid, Qasim found himself trapped on the roof at night with a bad stomach. Zaid handed him a clay waste pot to use, but in the morning refused to throw it away. Forced to hide his shame, Qasim put the stinky pot on his head, covered himself with a blanket, and tried to sneak out. Seeing this from the roof, Zaid started shouting, "Thief! Thief! Look, a thief is stealing a pot." The villagers woke up and beat Qasim black and blue with sticks. When his in-laws rushed out and removed the blanket, there stood Qasim, covered in filth, beaten up, and completely humiliated in front of his entire family. Returning home, Qasim cried and asked Zaid why he did this. Zaid replied seriously, "This was the price for ruining my innocent father's dignity. If you are a lion, remember, there is always a lawmaker above you." Qasim fell to his knees, gave Zaid all his money, and genuinely begged for forgiveness. Zaid returned to his village proudly with both carts and a fortune, while Qasim learned a lesson he would never forget. Never mock the poor, and never break a parent's heart, for karma always finds a way back.